What's up, everyone? Kyle here. Welcome to this edition of From Around the World Fridays. Today we're taking a look at a bucket list, 100 places to visit bucket list that I got actually not too long ago, earlier this year when I was in Connecticut. I think it's really cool. It has a lot of the ones that were on my bucket list. And some of those, some that I haven't heard of at all, actually, or haven't heard of in a long time, or don't really know what they are. But now they're all on my bucket list, so we're going to take a look at the first 20 here, and hope you guys enjoy. All right, so this is the 100 places bucket list that I got. I got it at the Mark Twain House in Hartford, Connecticut. Like I said, it has a lot of the ones that were actually on my bucket list before. Some I visited, most of these I have not yet. Some of these I haven't even heard of or really know much about. So let's take a look at the first few here. So first, Temples of Angkor, the temples in Angkor Wat in Cambodia. That, that is definitely one of my top items here. Scooch in closer there. Sorry, I'm terrible at filming here. But that is definitely one of my top ones. That's one of the most amazing sights in the world. And two, we got the Great Barrier Reef. I am so glad that I got to do that when I did, when I lived in Australia. Got to go up to Cairns to the Great Barrier Reef, to a place called Green Island, just off the coast there, and got to swim in the Great Barrier Reef and snorkel. And got to snorkel alongside this giant sea turtle, so that was a ton of fun too. We got the Great Wall of China. Definitely want to see that at some point in the near future. That would be amazing. I know my parents have seen it and walked on it, and definitely looks incredible. And fourth, we got Taj Mahal. Of course, that's an amazing place. I want to see that for sure. India is a place that I really want to get to sometime in the near future. So we'll see. I believe this is pronounced Pina Palace, I don't really know. In Portugal. This is one that I don't really know much about, but I believe I might have the opportunity to see it in just about a month and a half when I'm going through Portugal on my way back from Morocco. So hopefully I'll get to see that and be able to scratch that one off and show you guys. And then, of course, next up we got the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Pyramids of Giza. Definitely at the top of my bucket list to see. Cannot wait to see them. Hopefully I can get there soon. Egypt is towards the top of my list, so we'll see if I can get to that one soon. But those are amazing. I've had multiple friends who've seen them, and definitely gotta get there soon. All right, next up we got Machu Picchu, another one that is at the top of my list. This is probably number one on my list right now. Peru is one of the top countries I want to see too, and so I'd love to hike the Inca Trail there and go to Machu Picchu and see that amazing place. So hopefully we'll do that soon. And then next up we got Stonehenge in England. I got to see this a few years ago. It is so crazy. It's just these stones out here in the middle of nowhere. It's really interesting and really interesting to learn the history and everything. But definitely a place worth checking out in just outside of Bath, England. But yeah, pretty crazy. And next up is the Eiffel Tower. Of course, one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. The Eiffel Tower is amazing, especially if you see it at night with all the lights. Absolutely incredible, and definitely one that everyone should see. And next up, the Peak in Hong Kong. Got to go to Hong Kong a few years ago. Victoria Peak, which is what this is talking about, in Hong Kong. Got to go up there and actually had dinner up there. Got to check that out, and you can see over a lot of Hong Kong. It was kind of foggy when I was there, so the view wasn't like as good as it could have been, but pretty amazing nonetheless. And just to see all the lights and the skyscrapers all on top of each other was pretty cool. All right, next up we got the Sydney Opera House. Got to see this when I lived in Australia as well. Iconic place, absolutely beautiful. Didn't get to see a show there, but would love to. But yeah, it's a really iconic place and definitely recommend. The next one is surprisingly one of my favorites, but the Anne Frank House in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. That was honestly, it was hard to go through. That's one of those that you want to see for all the history and everything behind it. But it's really hard to see and go through. But you know, it's a pretty crazy part of our history, and I'm glad I got to see it. Next up is Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. Another iconic landmark. Haven't got to go down to Brazil yet, but would love to and see this. So we'll see if I can do that soon. And next up we got Temple of Heaven in China. This is one that I don't really know anything about. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't look it up beforehand. So we'll see what that is. And next up is the Masai Mara in Kenya. Again, this is another one that I don't really know anything about, but I will have to look into it because obviously it's on this list, so must be something really incredible. And next up we got the Grand Canyon. Of course, in Arizona, this is absolutely incredible. Doesn't even look real. And it's amazing to see how powerful, you know, the forces of nature are. So that one is definitely one, especially if you're taking a road trip. Make sure you go and see that. And next up, we got the Sagrada Familia in Spain, in Barcelona. That is a wild church. Pretty crazy, and they're still working on it after hundreds of years. It's awesome to see. Definitely an iconic place in Barcelona, and definitely got to go check that out too. And next up is Bagan in Myanmar. Again, another one I don't really know much about or know anything about. Again, I'll have to look into it more. And last two here, first we got the Nazca Lines in Peru. This is definitely one of the things that's at the top of my bucket list to go see. Definitely want to see like this amazing art that's so ancient but so incredible. And I don't know, it just there's so many cool things to see. And lastly, for this one, we got the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, an amazing feat of engineering. It's a beautiful spot. I've gotten to drive over it multiple times as I've traveled to California. Beautiful spot in San Francisco there, and definitely a place that you gotta check out. So there's the first 20 guys. Obviously we'll do more parts of this. There's 80 more on here, but hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this inspires you to look at some places, and it's definitely gonna inspire me to look into more of these places that I don't know much about. So also make sure you subscribe and like the video. Subscribing to this channel really helps me out, helps me be able to share more experiences and help others share their experiences and get to explore the world themselves. So if you can subscribe, please do. I'd really appreciate it. Doesn't take much, but I'd really appreciate it. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you all next time.